Coming up in this week's episode.
I'll show you these because this is probably my favourite carrier bag.
Said no one ever, apart from James.
Hello.
It was a big thing of putting carpet in toilets.
Gotcha. And on the side of your bath.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Why have
we got carpet up the side? My mother-in-law, God bless her, she's wonderful, but she said a word to describe somebody the other day. I've never even heard the word before, and I knew it was a wrong word, but I'd never even heard it. It sounded like an injury, and I was like, what?
It's time to adjust those shoulder pads, backcomb what's left of your hair, and jump into the DeLorean for a look back at what's possibly the best decade anyone could ever have grown up in.
Shall we play a game?
This is Bring Back the 80s with your hosts James Alderson and me, Andy Jackson. New Year's Eve.
Hello, Happy New Year! We're off. Okay, we got this party started. How was your Christmas? Was it lovely?
Christmas was absolutely lovely. My favourite bit of Christmas was Christmas Eve spending it with you,
Thank you,
James.
Didn't it fly by?
And it flown by. But Christmas is Christmas good. Proper 80s Christmas, decorations catching fire, and all the usual stuff. Eating the Christmas pudding, breaking my teeth on the sixpence.
Yes, of course. Pass the parcel. Did you do anything? Silly game, pin the tail of the donkey. All the exciting little party games that your mum would bring out.
Twister. Inappropriate.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not doing that every now and again. For some reason Cliff turned up. I don't know why. Had a choir boy under his arm. So we've got all sorts of memories from our Christmases. I've spoken about it before. My fun time, I always remember when the whole family got together with the extended family. Was the one that you don't remember, where you don't put your clothes on, who you're always dressed, obviously. It wasn't a very inappropriate family. For once on Christmas Day, they allow you to put your clothes on.
And you were allowed upstairs from the basement cellar that you've been locked in all year.
It's Christmas, put your clothes on now, James, and then back off on Boxing Day. Thanks, Mummy. No, it's someone puts the coat on and the hat on and gloves, and you cut chocolate into bits, and then someone else, if they roll a 6, then you have to take your clothes off. They get your clothes off you, and once they get your clothes off you, they put the clothes on, and then they start cutting at chocolate. And it was a big bar, not like big bars like you get now of dairy milk, but it was probably the size of an exercise book, sort of ish, and you'd cut it up with a knife and fork. And I can't believe you don't remember this game.
Can I just say, please, in the comments, if there is anybody else in the whole world that's dressed up in coats and ate chocolate with a knife and fork for Christmas entertainment, please let me know, because I've never heard of such a thing.
This was in the workhouse. It was in the 1830s. Charles Dickens in the corner. It was a classic Pompey ritual. But yeah, I just there was something about it because it was chaotic. And it was like, oh God, quick! And they're trying to get the hat off, the coat off, and the gloves, and anyway, waiting for someone. You were eating as fast as you could because you knew at some point someone's going to roll a 6. But yeah, a classic Christmas game. But yeah, and sing-alongs, and it was just lovely.
Wonderful times. Yeah. So that's Christmas done and dusted for this year. Now the whole year to go.
Yeah.
But because we've got New Year's to look forward to, and back in the 80s, who'd have thought that back in the 80s there was such a thing as New Year's sales, which a lot of these New Year's sales started on Boxing Day. But let's have a look and see if you remember this particular company.
The big one. The Texas Big Sale. Big selection. Big savings if you buy now. Save £2 on big 5-litre cans of Berger Brilliant White Vinyl Matte Silk, $4.99. Save £50 on this complete bathroom suite, $129.99. Save £2 on these crystal ceramic tiles, $3.99 for 25. Save £4 on this wall unit, only $12.99. Save big, think big at the Texas Big Sale.
That's a mixture of Tron, Aliens, Star Wars, all in one.
Yeah.
With the outlines, and then the coming across like the old computer or HAL or whatever, and the Star Wars with that's incredible, isn't it? And to be honest, that they did adverts for Texas Home Care.
Yes, because Texas Home Care is no longer a thing. But when did Texas Home Care disappear?
Well, I worked there until the mid-90s, and they went bust shortly after. When I left, they didn't last.
They did last.
I was like, oh, he's gone. We might as well jack it in. There was a Texas Home Care in Bedhampton, near where I lived. And then they started building in this unit next door. And we were like, oh, what's this going to be? And it was turned into a bowling alley, which were all the rage in the late 80s, early 90s. Having a 10-pin bowling alley, it was brilliant. Birthday parties and stuff.
Still are, to be quite honest. Yeah. Bowling's still a big thing.
It is, but they're nothing like they were. And a few chains have certainly gone to the wayside since. But it's great fun. I went a few days ago with the family. We haven't been for ages. It was lovely. But yeah, I left Texas Home Care then to go and work at the bowling alley. A lot more sociable for a 19-year-old, and rather than gardens and bathrooms. And I worked at the garden centre. But yes, the thing is that doing your bedroom up or doing the bathroom up was, maybe still is, a big thing between Christmas and New Year, because you get bored. And your parents start fucking around, and you sit there on Boxing Day, and they come up with a great idea to do up your bedroom.
Yes.
Or do it. And here I've got a few things here which epitomise that, right? And these were very popular in the 80s. These are original, so don't start messing about. Is these running, what do they call them? The run along.
Runners? Are they runners?
They go along halfway up the wall.
You hold one end, James. And
well, I'm not sure I'm happy with that. It's not the most.
So careful.
But look at that. It's the 18 with a nice Corvette and the van in 18 colours.
That's amazing.
And it's original. This is original 80s. But this is the sort of thing you'd have halfway up your wall. Do you know what I mean? It was like went all the way around the bedroom. And lovely. And when I saw that, 1983, 18, I had to get it, of course, unused. Someone's found that at the back of their thing. I thought, what idiot's going to buy that? Dare
I ask how much something like that would go for?
You can ask. Right, so we've got another one here. And that is wound the other way, so you're going to have to hold it, and I'll unwind it. And this is obviously Knight Rider, this one.
That's brilliant.
And again, you'd have that halfway up your wall, just a nice runner all the way around your bedroom wall. I haven't got one with Care Bears or anything else on there. But Knight Rider and 18, I mean, look at that. Look at the graphics on that. David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
He'd be very happy with that, wouldn't he? Helicopter. You got Kit there. You got the dashboard and some old 70s police car behind him.
People who did the graphics on this are the same people who do the painting on the fair. On the fun fair,
of course,
on the Dodgems.
Yes,
those people.
Yeah, I'll let
you
wind
done
that.
with spray paint. Very well done.
So when I found that, I was over the moon. These are the sort of things that you find and just think, wow, nobody else has got this in the world.
you wonder why that.
But it's just that. But your parents would be like, yeah, we're going to actually have to do your room now. It needs doing. And you look at it, and it's got it had the magic roundabout wallpaper or something, and you thought, you know what? Probably. Right, yeah. Probably should.
Because you'd have to have the matching duvet set and everything to go with the runner and everything as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, curtains,
everything. Everything would have to be matching.
But they did have that. You go in Argos or something, the catalogue, and they would have the full set of everything. Most boys had red, black and white and square furniture, red desk chair, red bed frame, black and red duvet cover with a filler slip and red curtains. Very standard, maybe black carpet. But it was all very cliched, and girls had sort of fluffy pink things with clouds and pastel colours and pastel shades of stuff.
I remember getting so excited when my bedroom was changed once, because they took down the ceiling light and they put 3 spotlights up. And the hours of fun.
That is the future.
Deciding what I was going to light. Yeah.
You angled them up.
Yeah. All over the place. I thought I could have that one on David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
I could have that one on Kylie. And just fantastic.
Yes, you could light up your shelving, couldn't you? Hello. It sounds like a museum now. This is special. I feel like I'm on top of the pops. And then you accidentally angle it, and you'd wake up in the morning, and your mum would try and wake you up and turn the lights on the spotlight, like high beam in your eyes. You're like, God, turn the light off, Mum.
In the days now where you just command your Alexa to turn the lights on or off, I still remember being so excited when I was allowed to have a dimmer switch in my bedroom to control the lights. A dimmer switch.
I know. Or if you had a light by your bedside, you could get a spotlight. I remember a bendy spotlight as a bedside lamp. It would bend and turn over, and you get a little alarm clock on the side, and it had a digital display. It wasn't a mechanical thing. It would have digital, but it was made to look like it was made of wood. It was wood, but a digital display on the front. None of this Alexa, turn the lights off.
I had my bedside light for a long time. It was one of those sea urchin shells with a little light inside it. And that was just absolutely useless because it cast no light whatsoever. No, but it looks. I'm very proud of that. Very proud of that indeed.
So yes, doing DIY and a bit of Texas home care and doing things between Christmas and New Year and before you go back to work. That was always a big thing for parents, and I think it is still now. But these days, I mean, it's always been a thing, isn't it, to make your house look like a bloody museum before Christmas Day because you got people coming over that you really wish weren't coming, but you want the place to look decent, you want to look successful. So you make everything look great, and you hide the kids' shit away in their rooms, and you dump loads of trash that you really wish you didn't have in the house still in the garage. And then you realise when you're so bored on New Year's Eve or when it might be, let's go and get some stuff to do up people's rooms. You really don't want to be bothered because they're trying to set up a scale electric. I'm trying to play in here, Mum.
But you were saying that every kid's room was the same, but you had to choose very wisely what your theme was because that was going to last you for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
that was it. So if it was like, for God's sake, don't go off of Knight Rider.
No,
because that is until you leave home at 18.
Particularly awkward when you get your first girl over. Wish I hadn't gone for Care Bears now.
Right, let's do a reminder of the mystery sound from last time round. Yeah. So just to, if you didn't hear it on the last episode, you think it's tricky, don't you?
I do.
The clue as to what it is comes right at the very, very end of the clip.
It's the mystery sound of the 80s. It's the mystery sound of the 80s.
I don't know. Wow.
No idea.
They sound like two totally irrelevant sounds. One sounds like he's just about to strum some sort of air guitar, and the other one sounds like he's clanging away on a typewriter. I've got no idea what that is.
I can't wait. The suspense. This is our New Year's Eve cliffhanger, James. Wait and see next time. But you will just go. When you see it, I guarantee you're going to say,
"Yeah,
oh my god, of course,
of course." Can I show you these? Because this is probably my favourite carrier bag.
Said no one ever. Apart from James.
Hello. Oh God, you make me feel rubbish. Hey, right now, listen, everybody. You would love this carrier bag. Comment below. You'd love this carrier bag. Look, the real magic of Christmas, and it says Woolworth singular.
Yes,
okay,
we
not
always
plural.
call it Woolworths.
Yeah, somebody came up with
Woolworths.
a Woolco that were coming up in adverts. That never caught on, did it?
No.
Did anybody ever? We called it Woolies.
Woolies, yeah.
Nobody ever called it Woolco.
Woolworths. No, it's Woolworths, and they used to say and Wilco. Woolco, yeah.
Because we called Wilkinson's Wilco because it had a cut in it. Well, unless it was called the Woolworth Company, maybe. So people called it Woolco. I mean, but I've seen it on adverts since, and I thought I don't ever remember.
No sense whatsoever.
Woolworth there. And it's Asda, not Asda's, and Tesco, not Tesco's.
Tesco's, Sainsbury's.
Marks and Spencer.
But Sainsbury's is Sainsbury's.
It is because it belongs to Mr. Sainsbury.
Yes.
So it's his shop. But it's not, you don't say HMVs, do you? Or I'm going to Morris. Oh, it's Morrison's.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Morrison who owns it, you see.
Okay.
But Mr. Tesco doesn't own Tesco's.
Yeah. So why isn't it I'm going down B&Q's? Because B&Q's was the two names of Bobby and whatever.
This is a good point.
Yes.
And it was Mr. Woolworth, I think. So it should be Woolworths.
Yeah.
Maybe it did change to apostrophe S. Anyway, good chat. Right. So we've got, but this is golden. Hey, look. Oh, a golden carry bag with the real magic of Christmas. I think we can all agree.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
I think we can all agree. When you're of an age, Woolworths Christmas windows were brilliant. And when you went shopping, they kept the Christmas displays up. They soon went down. I think probably New Year's Eve they were down anyway. So it was a bit sad during the sales because it was full of sales and sale now on. But you're right. You never had a Christmas sale. You never had a bloody February sales and summer sales and all this stuff, did you? It was New Year's Eve, New Year's Day sales, bang.
Some of them got a bit cheeky in it. They would start their Christmas. They would start their New Year's sale. They would start on Boxing Day.
Yeah,
but it was Christmas, New Year time, wasn't it? And that was it.
Well, they snuck them in with the summer sale. They start saying, "Oh, all stock must go, summer sale." But now everywhere's sales because everywhere's competing with the bloody online.
Yes.
So you've got to get a discount or a discount code or some bollocks to try and get a sale. Now this is a classic. This is the classic one. Merry Christmas, very traditional. traditional. Take care, please. Because little paper bags in the co-op and little paper bags in Woolies were always branded and always lovely. Look at the illustration and stuff
beautiful.
on that.
Absolutely.
So lovely.
What I'm even more impressed about this, and what no doubt is what makes this worth the princely sum you paid for, is these would all have been tied on a bit of string.
By the till, yeah.
By the till.
Yeah.
Somebody's carefully untied the string so that the circle is still intact, James. That's what's made that priceless.
It'd be nice to have a little bit of string on it, wouldn't it, from 40 years ago? But still, traditional carol singers, which you used to get. I used to go carol singing in the 80s with the local church. And Cliff was there, and a choir boy crying for some reason. I don't know why. And
he's always in the van.
I'm so pleased to be back in England. I don't like the Bahamas. So
it's jesting, by the way. It's jest.
I'm not. It's true story. Google it. No, it's not. But we used to go, and we used to go around all the care homes and all the little sort of cul-de-sac estates and stuff, and just sing. And people would come out, and they'd be so happy to see us.
That's because there was nothing else to do, James. That was the highlight of their day.
It was a bit more traditional Christmas carol singers. Now, if carol singers started walking down your street, you'd be like, "Oh, come on, get out of the way! I'm trying to get off my drive here." Or you open the door and go, I would actually like it if some carol singers came around though and came to our door. If from the church, for example.
Yes.
Not if they had like masks on and e-scooters. Wish you a Merry Christmas. We'll stab you if you don't give us money. If it was genuine carol singers, that'd be lovely. Would you enjoy that?
I do like a carol singer. Yes,
but it worries me that they wouldn't be genuine. You'd open the door and you'd like, oh no, what do they want? Here we go. It's all 15-year-old lads.
I do like a good brass band at Christmas time as well. Good
euphemism?
Sally Army.
Okay.
Good Sally Army brass band.
Yes.
Which you get one of those in the high street or in the market.
Yeah.
Sadly we've got to wait another year now, James. But they'll be back.
Always nice time of year. No matter what, it's always a good feeling. And you would still, going around the Christmas sales, you'd still have all that festivities and the jolliness happening, even if they were trying to buy new wallpaper for your bloody bedroom.
Let's see if there's any wallpaper on sale for the new year in this next clip.
Queensway's Big Q sale starts Boxing Day. Furniture, bedding and carpets down in price. The consort double bed now $74.95, half price. £100 and more off hundreds of three-piece suites, like the Manor, now $189.95. Axminster's half price, even free fitting on selected carpet ranges. Massive stocks mean fast delivery. Queensway's Big Q sale starts Boxing Day, 9 a.m. Everyone's a winner, baby.
Everyone's a winner, baby. You see some of that carpet, and I think they are.
Oh my God, yes. And then let no room have its own. Let no room be alike. So every room had to have a completely different pattern.
Yeah,
it had to be a clash.
Oh yeah,
a proper clash.
The curtains didn't have to have the same pattern as the carpet.
No,
and everything could be patterned. So you could put pattern on anything. Yeah, patterned sofa, pattern rug, pattern wallpaper, pattern curtains.
But you would never have the same carpet. Now when you go into like a nice house, you've got the same carpet all the way through. It's all, so usually a light grey, and it's all very subtle and nice,
muted,
and that. But there you'd have a weird pattern in the living room, and you might even, if you're really lucky, you might even have another weird pattern in the toilet. Yeah, because there was a big thing of putting carpet in toilets.
Gotcha. And on the side of your bath, for some reason. Why have we got carpet up the side? Nothing better than water and carpet pushed together. Lovely. Yeah, nice. There was a big trend with carpeting walls and vertical surfaces. Yeah. And I remember my auntie had a deep shag rug. And it was orange and black and yellow, and it was really thick, which was brilliant for driving cars through and laying next to them as they drive through. Yeah. You'd lay your head flat on the carpet and you'd watch the car push its way through all this sort of jungle and Matchbox car and have a great imagination then. But yes, oh wow. I mean, I don't remember going around shops like that because we just lived in a tiny little flat, so we had the same furniture forever. But that looks awful.
Yes.
Queensway. I do remember the word Queensway. Yeah. But yeah, sales in New Year's Eve, everyone went for it, didn't they? Absolutely crazy.
It's interesting though, looking at the prices of that, one of the beds that they had was half price at £75. So that with normal price would have been 150 quid.
Yeah.
You could go to IKEA now and you could buy a bed now for 150 quid.
Yeah,
so in today's money,
yeah, that's 600-700 quid.
Yeah.
And it's people didn't. There wasn't the sort of bulking at those big prices that we think. You know, like the quality streets and stuff that would have still been going around this time of year.
Be all the crap ones left.
Well, yeah, horrible. There, the rappers, if you're an idiot.
What is that?
Pissing around. Someone did that backstage at a gig. I took a bottle of Celebrations and I put my hand in and there was the crappy ones and a load of rappers. I wanted to say to one of the comedians, you're not going on, mate. Go home. I'm not having you on fucking about with bloody rappers. But yeah, it's... and I mean, these were equivalent of 45 quid, these quality streets. Tins in today's money, which most families would have
one. Yeah.
Not only just one tin, but then you could lose your bloody forearm in them because they were so deep. But still, 45 quid's a bit of a stretch these days, I think.
A little bit.
I'm not doing that for my boys, sorry.
So we've had the Queensway, we've had the Texas. Let's see if there's another DIY store.
Oh no,
another DIY store having another New Year sale.
B&Q's greatest ever sale is now on with hundreds and hundreds of DIY bargains. And we're open late till 8. New Year Bank Holiday Monday.
Find us in the phone book.
Do you want an avocado aubergine shade of bathroom suite? Nobody had a bloody white.
No.
Bathroom.
No, it was all, and it was avocado. It was
that was
big
brown in that.
Avocado or brown shit.
Brown
coloured,
toilet's a good idea, to be honest. It saves a lot of problems.
A lot of cleaning.
Yeah, you don't have to worry when the people come over for New Year's Day, do you? I won't go in there for a few days. It's like, it's fine. You don't have to use the toilet brush. Nobody's going to spot that. Brown toilets. There's a lot of pink toilets and baths. Not many people had showers. Not in the 80s.
No, showers was quite a big thing.
You'd have one of those magic plastic that goes over the cold and hot tap, and then you'd shower your head whilst sat in the bath. That was the future. You didn't have to use a jug or a plastic cup to do your hair. You could put this on, and you'd put it on, and sometimes your mum would grab you, obviously Vosine, dribble in your eye and make you blind for an hour. But you'd use the hot thing, not the hot thing, the plastic thing. And as she's doing it, she hasn't noticed that the cold taps come off.
So always the cold one was always the one that would come off, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Burn an inch of skin off of you as you're trying to wash your hair. And you're screaming. She's like, shut up, it's just Vosine. He's like, no, it's hot. Oh, sorry, son. Yeah.
Isn't it weird, though, that you did not have showers? Showers were not, you didn't have a shower over the bath or nobody had their own cubicle shower. There was never a cubicle shower.
It was sort of, it came in with rich folk in the 80s, didn't it? It was very American, wasn't it? These fancy showers.
Yeah.
You'd have them obviously at swimming baths and things, but the communal, you'd never have a cubicle.
No.
And then your rich friend would have one, but often sort of in an odd space, like in the downstairs loo space, they'd have a shower, which I always find is strange, wandering downstairs to have a shower and back upstairs. But a bath, I had a bath my whole childhood. The first time I had a shower was probably when I lived with my wife. Not with her, she won't be having any of that, thank you very much. But I used to have Mr. Matey.
Yes.
Mr. Matey bubble bath.
Yeah. Soap and a rope.
Yeah, and they brought, well, that's it. You did spend time in prison, so that's why you remember that. But Mrs. Matey, I remember the Princess Matey, I think it was. I had a dose of her a few times. But Mr. Matey and Vosine, wonderful bubbles. You don't get bubbles like that anymore in the bath, mate.
No, you don't.
Used to get it a lot of times at Christmas, though. Bubble bath and Mr. Matey. You get a Santa Matey.
Standard stocking filler fare, wasn't it, to have that? Can you imagine how disappointed a child now would be? There's your Christmas present.
Happy Christmas. Yeah.
Thing a bubble bath for you.
Yeah. Cheers.
Not good.
Soap on a rope. There we go. But you used to love that. I used to get one of those big pencil cases that was in the shape of a pencil with a zip around the top. Get that. I'd get a Helix tin, like we've got here, or a Sterling geometry set. That would be in there with a fresh stock of pencils and compass and plastic bits. Some sweets. And usually something like a soap. Some bit of soap or bubble bath or something, and maybe some socks, but not usually. But my two teenage boys, they bloody love socks. Don't know why. Anyway,
I was just while I try and unburn that picture of teenage boys in socks from my retina. I used to get pencils with my name on for Christmas, and you'd have your full name on the pencils, and there you go. It'd be a lovely box of pencils about that size, and that would be your pencils with your name on to last you the year.
Well, I think it was standard. Something with your name on was a special custom item. But when we were kids, we didn't appreciate it. But I reckon over the next 12 or 10 years, you and I would really love to know what our fucking name is. So having everything with our name on would be brilliant. And maybe our address.
Comes round. Everything's coming round in a big circle. Hang on. Where do you live, sir? I'm not sure.
What's your name?
I've got a pencil here with my name on it.
I think it would be ever so handy to have the key rings with names on. I'm James and I'm 50. Just have it on a badge.
If you find me, please take me home. Right, let's do this. Here we go. Another bit. Favourite bit of the show, if I'm honest, James.
Okay.
James's special lunchbox surprise.
Right, now, obviously, we're at a time of year where we're all eating up all the remnants and the bits and the leftover foods and stuff. But I remember, don't know about you, but going to visit older relatives who you don't normally see. You might see them twice a year.
Yeah.
Once in the summer, once New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
Yes,
They would have some of these. So have a little look, and I'll be honest, I haven't had them probably since I was a kid, but I saw them and I thought, I'm going to get them and let's see what they taste like. I can't remember what I've got. Yes, I've got mint humbugs. Yeah, mint humbugs. Made of Bonds of London again. They seem to be quite a speciality sweet maker at the moment. And humbugs and Werthers will always seem to be about the place in old people's homes.
I've just
homes.
While I'm trying to open this, I'm just checking the ingredients on this.
Yeah.
Glucose syrup.
Yes.
Followed by sugar. Followed by invert sugar syrup, followed by sweetened condensed skim milk.
No, I can't have milk.
It's proper. If you wanted a sugar hit.
Thank you, mate. Well, let's see. Are they going to be the same? They're looking a lighter colour. I remember them being a darker colour.
Yeah, they were sort of almost black, weren't they?
Well.
Well, they taste the same.
Yeah. They were definitely a darker brown. Would have a black.
Were they crunchy? I can't remember.
Yeah, but then they get really chewy in your teeth. You're chewing them. Oh, Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got the chewy bit now.
Yeah. I think... Yeah. No, I think the same. It's weird, isn't it? How do these companies do this?
I can't speak.
You see, because these days, they reverse engineer something, they plug it into a computer, they find out how it's done. But with sweets, some genius has thought, well, that's that, and they just try to replicate something from 40 years ago.
It's exactly the same.
This isn't the same company that made them, but all these companies now make them, and they're exactly the same.
I'm about to lose some filling, that much I do know. Proper chewy.
Yeah, and exactly like your nan would give you. Have a humbug. Which is quite funny, because obviously at Christmas time...
Bar humbug.
Exactly, but I don't think that's where it's come from, is it? I don't know.
What I'm thinking is, it's beginning to make sense now, because I can't speak, and it'd be a perfect way of keeping the kids quiet.
Brilliant.
For 5 minutes.
Yeah, at least.
Literally stuck to every single one of my teeth now.
Funny thing is, you're told not to eat sweets because of ruining your teeth. My son, from about the age of 1 to about the age of 5, ate nothing but fruit all the time. He lost loads of teeth. Yeah. Had to have loads taken out because he ate so much fruit. Just as bad for you. Just eat sweets, kids. Don't eat fruit.
I've still got it. I'm still chewing away there.
I've got to the really chewy bit now. That's lovely. It's exactly the same. I'm giving it out of 10 as well.
I was 100% the same.
It's exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Go and get a mint humbug from Bonds of London.
But don't try and eat one while you're doing a podcast.
Oh, you're doing a live podcast.
It's not,
right.
We're not going to have them.
I showed this during the live one, but I thought I'd get it out again. Seeing as we get a close-up of this. Now, these were what your mum would get every Christmas to remind her of what the dates were in the new year. A 1985, this is. a Canada tea towel. But you get them for anything, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been to the Tower of London. Yeah. You've been to the bloody, I don't know, corner shop.
A lot of them would have recipes on them as well for Christmas fare, like Christmas pudding and things like that, to be appropriate for the time of year.
Yeah, or you'd have birds on it or something bizarre. Not Kylie, and So and then that will get used throughout the year, hung over the hob or oven somewhere, and you could refer to it. Because obviously you couldn't ask Google. So yeah, you got all your different dates of the year there on your tea towel.
This is you've just reminded me, of course, that there was no Google. There was no such thing as Google. There was no such thing as the internet. If you wanted to know something, if you wanted to know how to cook your Christmas pudding, the tea towel would be your source. There wouldn't be a TikTok showing you the step-by-step methodology.
No,
you'd have to be following the recipe on the tea towel,
or on a bloody great book that you had somewhere on a shelf in the kitchen or in the larder. These days, Ponces have a row of books everywhere to make it look like they're educated,
but nobody looks. The thing is, though, everybody's learning everything. If you want to know anything, it's on TikTok. Somebody on TikTok will have done it and perfected it, and that step by step, you just follow what they do on TikTok.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, both my sons cook. They cook, 18 and 20, and they both cook themselves. They cook all their own meals, and it's wonderful. I can't cook a salad. It's mental. Burnt soup. It's just ridiculous. But my son, the other day, cooked himself 2 roast dinners. He was really hungry. Cooked himself 2 roast dinners from scratch. I got back from a gig and he's eating 2 chicken breasts, about 30 roast potatoes and some vegetables. And he cooked. I mean, my wife is an incredible cook, but those roast potatoes were absolutely brilliant. And he brought us in and let us have a little bit of it. And he said he's going to do the roast potatoes this Christmas.
Oh, well, there you go, James.
Because they're better than his mum's. I was like, well, I'm not saying anything. But he probably went on Google to ask the best way to do it. But God love them both, for getting on with it. And they'll often go into the kitchen and go, hey, Google, how do I make a whatever? And it's like, follow these steps. And it times it for him to do it properly. And there's no tea towels with ingredients on there, if anything. In fact, based on the state of the kitchen afterwards, I don't think I know what a fucking tea towel looks like. It's like, what's this mess? It's like a turkey's exploded in here. But yeah, bless them. They know how to cook, but they don't know how to tidy up.
Is it? To be fair, though, being boys, that's the way.
You can't say that, Andy.
That's the way it is. That's the way it is, James.
Ladies, they know how to clean, bless them, but boys don't. You can't say that anymore. Yes.
I wonder what next. I wonder what 2025 will bring that we can't say anymore.
I'll probably bring back the 80s.
Probably. Some things I guarantee, though, that one thing will never, ever, ever change, James.
Oh.
The next few days are double discount days at DFS. For our biggest ever sale, it's double sale discounts on all surplus stock. Like this 3-piece suite, usually $12.69, sale price $9.82, double discount price just £695. And double discount means this suite only $7.99, and a massive saving of £600 on the Lindale suite. Everything is reduced. Every suite, settee, sofa, chair, every style, every colour. So don't miss out on double discount at DFS from today to New Year's Day. Garnaby Road, Grantham, Toaster Road, Northampton, and Hardwick Road, Kings Lynn.
We better get off to Kings Lynn now. We're going to miss it. Isn't it weird? I don't remember DFS ever having a sale.
No. Maybe they phased them out in the 90s.
Yeah, must have done. There was a rumour going about that, of course, they've got a sale on because it stands for Discount Furniture Store, but I don't believe it actually does. But it is just a discount. It is a discount furniture store.
I suppose it is. So somebody will no doubt enlighten us in the comments as to what DFS
it's probably
stands for.
David and Fiona's store.
Discount furniture store would make perfect sense.
It would, but I think it's probably Dave's furniture store or something. Dildo's furniture store, maybe? No, we can't say that after Kylie. Sorry, Kylie, by the way. She's asked to apologise formally.
So I'm not getting an invite to
am I going to read the rest of it?
Again. Yes.
Am I going to read the rest of it?
Yes. So this was the cliffhanger. If you haven't seen the previous episode,
don't listen.
Don't listen. In James's Kylie annual, he discovered that there is a bit where you have to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, to make a story.
Which a teenage boy
or girl
or they, James, has done. So just a little recap of last time.
Oh, do you want me to read it from the beginning?
Just at the beginning, James, in your best reading out voice.
I'm going to read the whole story then, and I will do a recap like they have to do at our age now in stories. But the obvious words are the words that were blank that you fill in with normal stuff, but they have not. When I feel like I'm doing a Jackanory. Perverted
Jackanory of your nightmares.
Oh my goodness. When Kylie arrived in England, it was sexy and so it was horny. Thank goodness she packed her dildos. At the airport, there were lots of lessies, so she dashed to the bed and was off. That afternoon, she went sexily to shops and bought lingerie, spelt lingerie. I thought it said fingery. For herself and some tampons for her mum. A quick fuck, and it was time to get ready to appear on a bed. At the television studio, she met a girl and Leslie had a good old chat about sex and lesbianism. Soon it was time for her performance. Kylie sang and stripped, and everyone commented on her clothes. A bra with knickers. The next day, after dreaming about her girl, Kylie had an interview at Radio 1 on The Leslie Show. A girl asked Kylie about her tits. Played with her. For the next 52 weeks, Kylie toured around Europe from bed to clubs doing strips and appearing on porno videos. Her new album, Watch Me Strip, was shooting up the charts, so it was a sexually fantastic time. Her favourite country was Sweden because she liked the sex. She rang home at night regularly to speak to her girlfriend. The thing she missed most about Australia was her girlfriend, but all in all, she had a sexy trip and knew she'd be back again soon.
That's brilliant.
Wow.
Please, if anybody knows who wrote that,
I wish there was a name in the front and we could really track them down because they would bloody love that. That was absolutely brilliant.
Somebody that was 1989. That one wasn't
1989. Probably got it for the 1989 Christmas or 1990 maybe. I bet it was out in 1989. So and this was for the 1990 year ahead. So 1989, but I mean, some boy or girl, but probably boy, let's be honest, has had a real fun time imagining all of that and he's filling it out. And I mean, there was no rubbings out. They knew what the words are going to be. Oh my goodness gracious me. Wow. God love them. We all have those times as kids, didn't we? And there wasn't the opportunity. But he opened up that book and thought, oh my God,
he opened up the
brilliant,
book. He turned down the dimmer switch.
Yeah.
And he pointed his spotlight in the right places.
He sprayed Lynx Africa in certain places to get himself from sweating too much.
Oh dear.
And whilst all the family were probably singing Old Lang Syne, he was filling out the story and waiting for his ZX to load up his Christmas game that he got.
Oh my God.
And just thought, this will fill the next 40 minutes whilst that game doesn't load. Oh, wow. Bless him. Brilliant.
Are you ready for our next TV advert?
Oh, yes, please.
Here we go. So here's another store from back in the day, no longer with us, James.
There are sales, and there is deep sales, and Debenhams. The possibilities are endless.
I think we now know why Debenhams struggled so much.
What was that?
That was just they were not saying what they were selling, and I think they tried to make it a little bit Grace Jonesy in the sound of it. But there was an advert that literally didn't tell you what they were selling.
I mean, obviously you knew what Debenhams was, and it was a department store, and it was the big thing. It was the biggest store in town, probably. But that, compared to what we've seen over the other adverts, that was pants, wasn't it?
It was not the best. It was not their finest moment.
They spent a fortune getting all that rendered and all that graphics done in probably the mid-late 80s. But that had nothing to... as someone from a marketing background, that's got nothing to tell you anything about anything. You're just riding on the coattails of success.
Yes.
And hoping people go, starts Thursday, better get down there.
A lesson has been learned.
Wow.
They'll be teaching that in business school now, James.
Yeah.
Clip of you saying that, it's going to be taught at Harvard.
I can understand. What, saying the story about Kylie? Playing that. Bless them. Okay.
I think the best thing about Debenhams was that there was back when there was no internet and no Amazon and that. Obviously, we've all got Amazon wish list now, but you always used to have your Debenhams wedding list. Yeah. And that was the go-to place for a wedding list. So they would have weddings tied up. Maybe that was what was keeping them afloat was the wedding list.
Yeah, I think we either did I think we did Debenhams. John Lewis did one as well, I think, but we did Debenhams in Southsea, and it was lovely to be able to do, and all on computer. So it was all we did it all on computer. But we got married in 2000, but it was still, you send out the lists to everybody, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, I remember
right.
one of mine was Debenhams as well. So
maybe you were the last one that knocked it on the head. Like, oh no, another failed marriage. We just got to stop doing these marriage lists. Shut the stores down. I think. The problem is, Debenhams for me was the big one for Christmas displays and probably New Year's sales. It was the one you went to, and all the different sections of the stores had different themes and different feels and different branding and different Christmassy decorations and different sales on. So they stopped doing that in the latter years. You just go down and the ground floor would be some bum fight of nonsense. You get buy 3 for 2 and 2 for 1 and whatever the bollocks.
They were always so run down as well. That was the thing when you go in, empty, run down, miserable staff, because everybody knew that the days were numbered. But they were just not.
Shelving.
In the 80s, Debenhams, you would want to go in for your wedding list.
Yep.
But nobody, as was proved, nobody wanted to go into Debenhams towards the end.
No, I know. I would go and queue for Santa and all this stuff, and there'd be massive displays in the windows for sales and everything fancy going on, and cut back their costs, and it doesn't help, does it?
Nothing. So you think that's a rubbish ad?
Yes.
Okay. Now cast your mind back to 1980s, where local independent businesses could still manage to get their 5 seconds of TV time on your local channels.
Yep.
So I've got a little compilation of 3 of these local businesses from different parts of the country.
Good.
And these are just of their time.
The big sale is now on. Hundreds of savings on furniture, carpets, beds, kitchens and lighting at George Street Furnishers, Newport.
Oh, God.
Hooper's sale is now on. Thousands of top-name fashions and homewares, many at half price. Hooper's, Queen Street, Colchester.
New Look fashion sale starts next Wednesday, December 28th. For style, quality and value, come to New Look Wednesday.
Is that New Look?
I don't think it would be
15 stores there though.
I don't think that would be. Oh, well, maybe it is then. Maybe
it started. Those announced voiceovers sound like they're halfway between a newsreader and someone who's been taken hostage.
They were the continuity people. Do you remember when they used to have the people in vision between the shows?
I don't.
And they, come on, James.
There's a little bit different age between us. I don't know.
It's only 10 years.
43 years.
There's only 10 years different.
In vision.
They were in vision.
Yeah.
Maybe it was.
What these people doing that?
Maybe it was in big. It was the continuity people doing them, and I think some of them are actually read live. So they're very badly, but they didn't. They couldn't go to the extent of having moving pictures for television. No. Just be a photo.
Oh, it's just awful. Come now, the sale is now on at Newport, Wales. It's like, oh gosh.
Don't slag him off to the girl on that. I know is Trish Bertram. I think that's her voice, and I know Trish, and she would be mortified to hear that.
She was the best of the 3
that she did.
She's best of the 3. She sounded like a newsreader, to be fair. Didn't sound like it was exciting sale now on. But the 2 guys, it was just like, we've got lots of stock for you.
Wednesday.
999. Yes, it's and the bloody Dalmatians in the middle of that store as well.
Homewares.
Don't want dogs, thank you. Nowhere near my sofas. Not one of them. Yeah.
But you would get those, and they would always be like at 10:30 at night, where they obviously just had a little bit of spare capacity.
Yeah.
And just the worst adverts, just terrible.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there was only one channel with adverts on TV, so we didn't have much to compare it to, but you compare it to the wonderful Debenhams advert there with its CGI or whatever it was, the future Tron-esque style advert, and then some bloody Paisley suite with Dalmatians walking between them. That's
awful.
Debenhams is going to look great compared to that.
It didn't quite do it for them though in the end, did it? As we rapidly come to the end of our New Year's Eve spectacular, we got a reminder of the mystery sound.
Okay.
So where's the bit you have to listen, James?
At the very end.
At the very end.
It's the mystery sound of the 80s. It's the mystery sound of the 80s.
Not a clue.
Not a clue. I've got no idea. I'll have a little think. And I'll get my wife to listen to it as well, and she'll angrily tell me exactly what it is. Oh, dear. I'll tell you one thing that used to happen New Year's Eve, and that is fancy dress parties.
Yes.
They don't happen so much now, do they? Do you like my diddly boppers, by the way? I'm not sure you can see them, but Happy New Year, little ones. But yeah, they used to get that, didn't they? People used to dress up.
Yes, I mean some pubs do it still. I know there was a pub that I've been to a couple of times. You dress up for New Year's Eve.
There's only about 4 pubs left in the country there, mate, so it doesn't really count, does it? But everybody had a fancy dress party for New Year's Eve. You know, your uncle would black up and stuff. Someone would go as a red Indian or a Chinaman. You're like, oh God, looking back at those photos, oh my God.
The thing is, you would say Chinaman, and that would be the description for a Chinese person.
Or anyone from that area of the world.
Anywhere, you could be Japanese, could be, Vietnamese, whatever. They're all Chinamen, which is, at least we have moved on.
Yeah, we call them China them. No, we don't. But yes, and I love the way that. I'm not going to say any words, but I love the way I can feel the tension from you, Andy. It's just out the corner of my eye. I love.
Can you tell one of us has had legal training, and one of us just goes to the stage and doesn't give a shit?
I love the way that certain generations think that they're now saying the right thing, but they're still 10 years behind. So they'll say the different ethnicity phrasing, and the teenagers and the Gen Zs want to have the ground swallow them up as their great grandma or grandma says still the wrong thing, miles off. In fact, my mother-in-law, God bless her, she's wonderful, but she said a word to describe somebody the other day. I've never even heard the word before, and I knew it was a wrong word, but I'd never even heard it. It sounded like an injury, and I was like, what? And one of my son's girlfriend just looked totally ashen-faced. I was like, what is that word? I was like, I don't know, but that is not a word to say. It's just so funny that you just, fancy dress. There was no rules. Gloves were off or on if you were playing Frank Bruno.
Just ask any members of the royal family who were dressing as Nazis at the time. When was that?
Late 90s?
Yeah.
Late 90s, early 2000s. But there's still, you look back in your family photo albums, you will find a fancy dress party, probably on New Year's Eve, and there are some questionable decisions. But yes, yeah. So, yeah, we've got, hopefully everybody's going to have a wonderful 2025. Get your tea towel with your calendar on, of course, and it's been a year, isn't it?
It has been a year. We're going to take a little short break for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
So we're going to be back with what's going to be season 4, James. Season 4.
Beginning of February will be probably the first ones back, won't it?
So until next time, all we can say is Happy New Year!
Woohoo!
Thanks for listening to this week's edition. We'd love it if you could subscribe in your favourite podcast app, and don't forget there's a video version on YouTube too. You can contact us using the links in the show notes and on the YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time for another edition of Bring Back the 80s.